God morning, fam. I am Reverend Valerie Love at your service. Divine Midwife of Soul Destiny, the author of over 20 books on practical spirituality, the occult, and Christian witchcraft. Soon to be the next one called Witch, published by Conscious Sentience book series and Sacred Stories. So elated for this book coming up. So elated for this book coming up. And family, and I'm coming to you today from Playa del Carmen in Mexico with the family. They're in the next room because they know I wake up at crack of dawn. Actually, sometimes before crack of dawn. Let's begin with a deep breath. Accessing the sacred wisdom of this universe. We call it going within, yet in reality, we all simply exist here now in ultimate and as ultimate reality. And we are placing our attention on ultimate reality everywhere at once. Come, Holy Spirit, come. Every morning, before we begin our doing, before we begin taking care of people and loving on people, before we begin our work, our creation, before it all we touch, gaze into the eyes of God, we touch the face of God as our own face, as in our own eyes, and we fill ourselves with the divine love that is our very nature. And we write our consciousness so that as we go about our day is magical. We always know the right thing to do, to say. We know where to be by synchronicity, and we find ourselves in the perfect place. All this comes from aligning with divine and remembering our will is divine will, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, all throughout the day. In opening our eyes now, we will engage A Course in Miracles, Lesson 176, Day 176 of our 365-day marathon. Now, family, in a marathon, sometimes you get a little tired. That's okay. Sometimes you have to take a little pause and you have to drink some water. That's okay. Sometimes in a marathon, you have to sit down for a while and let it integrate. That's okay. Whatever you do, stay in your own marathon, and it doesn't look like anyone else's marathon. See, this is you doing you. This is you giving you permission to be all you are created to be, do, have. This is not about anyone else. We have to say that because sometimes we see people, we get messages from people, and we say, hey, some people, hey, Uncle, we see you. It has been a long time. Mwah. Oh my God. I love it. I'm so happy to see you. Uh, Remember that in this marathon, 365 days, sometimes we receive messages from people that say, wow, I just found you on day 165, or I just found you on day 79, or I just found this on day 63. Remember, whatever day you found this was perfect for you. There's no rules here. This is not dogma. This is not a religion. This is a spiritual unfoldment. This is you evolving. And what we know is that we can absolutely trust the universe for our spiritual evolution, because in charge of our evolution is higher self. You're not in charge of it. Other people are not in charge of it. Higher self, your own holy guardian angel, your true self that knows all, is in charge of your evolution and ascension. And trust me, even if you wanted to be here at day one and your holy guardian angel said you weren't ready for that, you wouldn't have been here on day one. Your steps are ordered by the design. There's a great cosmic pattern. This is one of the reasons why we love ayahuasca and the plant medicines, because they allow the veil to drop and for you to see ultimate reality as it is. And many times it looks fractal and in sacred shapes and sacred geometry, because this is what's going on behind the veil. So you are in the perfect place at the perfect time, beloved. You got to know this. Know it in here. I'm in the perfect place in the perfect time. The universe don't make mistakes. Lesson 176. It's a review. Hop up on stage if you are helping us out in this review, and everyone watching on the Valerie Love YouTube channel, on the Christian Witches YouTube channel, on the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page, and listening on Clubhouse. Even if you don't hop up on stage, moderators, could you get everyone on stage that desires to speak the review with us? We have a few lines to roll through in our review. Even if you don't hop on stage with us in the Clubhouse room, if you're not on Clubhouse, you know that you are here with us now. Speak it with your words. How you love it? How you love it, Rosie Crystal? I love that name. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Emir Otto, how you loving? I'm coming to you from Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The family and I are on an excursion. As a matter of fact, I am in the same place where we are going to be for one leg of our party at the end of the year, because 365 days straight is the biggest commitment we have ever made to do in this way. Maybe not you, me. It's the biggest commitment I've ever made, to be live every single day for 365 days straight. Never done this before. Yet you've got to do epic things that you've never done before. We're having a party. Now, I don't know if you're going to celebrate yourself or I'm celebrating myself, because I know that Spirit did this for me. And I'm not celebrating Valerie, the personality, because the personality didn't do this. I am celebrating that the personalities was submitted enough. The ego was suppressed enough. The ego was cast aside enough for the divine to do its work for 365 days. I am celebrating the divine. Okay, that's what I'm celebrating at the party. If you don't have your spot at the party yet, seats are rented out, the spaces are rented out. We already have the calendar almost full. The people that are going to be at this celebration that have already registered with a deposit. If you're not going ahead and taking care of the whole thing, do your deposit and do it today. It's at valerielove.com. Click on global events. If someone could put it in the chat for us. Hugs, Amir Otto. I haven't seen you in too long. I need to see you again soon so I can hug your neck. You know how we love hugging our family. We love seeing you in person. We love it. We love it. We love it, family. It's inconvenient to travel. It is. It's inconvenient to pack your bags and go on an adventure. It's inconvenient to get airline tickets. It's inconvenient to go through security. Even if you have TSA pre-check, or you're flying first, or you're flying private. It's inconvenient to leave your home. Your home is very comfortable, it's very convenient, and nothing special is going to happen for you at home. Nothing. I don't care what kind of videos you watch, I don't care what books you watch. Nothing groundbreaking. If you want a groundbreaking, radical healing, it's not going to happen in your house. It's just not. I'm the witch to give you a little dose of reality this morning. You got to get out your usual. You got to get out, bust out. That's why I'm always going out. You've got to go out your usual. You have to. You have to. There's no way around it. How you loving, family? How you loving? How you loving, Sharifa? I'm so happy to see everybody this morning. So this morning is a review. And as we've been doing with the review, you speak it. We are speaking a spell for the whole planet and beyond the planet. We're speaking this spell for those who are off planet as well. This spell that we are speaking is 5 lines, and 3 of the lines are the affirmation, the mantra, the declaration of love for everyone. 2 of the lines are reviews of our powerful, powerful, powerful lessons that we are reviewing right now. So everyone in the room on Clubhouse, since we can hear your voice on Clubhouse, on YouTube, we may not be hearing your voice. City Love University, how you loving? I love our peeps. I love our peeps. While you're on, smash up the lights and tap the notification bell ring the bell so that you can be notified when we go live every morning. If you would like that gentle reminder, now you do it on your own, do it on your own. It's all good. Just as long as you get here. I don't care how you get here. Just get here. Just get here. Let's roll. Screen share. Deep breath. Everyone in the Clubhouse room, you are speaking these words for the whole planet. Everyone on YouTube, Facebook, you are speaking these words. We, as a collective, we together, we are choosing, because we are warriors in the light, we are light workers, we are way showers, teachers, healers, energy workers, witches, wizards, warlocks, magical beings, magical practitioners. We are choosing to stand in the light and shift the dynamic of this whole planet. Remember, there are dark forces on this planet that would seek to enslave you, your children, and everyone else. There are dark forces on the planet that want to give you poison to food in your food, that want to give you continuous pills and medication, that want to continually hijack your attention, which is your creation, because whatever you focus on, you're creating. Hijack your attention by the way of unfettered social media, continuous stimulation, and put ads in front of you and suck the money out of your pocket and tell you to go to a job like Beyonce said in her new song, Release Your Job. Beyonce is telling you, get a new foundation. She said, break my soul. You won't break my soul. You have got to know you are the line of defense between humanity and the dark forces that would desire to gobble them up. The only reason we have not been gobbled up yet by the pharmaceutical companies, by companies that want to make you work from can't see in the morning and can't see at night and pay you hardly anything, to the medical establishment that is not about health and well-being, that is corrupt. Not all the doctors and nurses. We love many doctors and nurses. We're talking about the system. We're talking about a system of religion that would keep people in blindness. We're talking about people don't know the truth, eating things that are not food that came out of a laboratory. You're not supposed to eat things that came out of a laboratory. You're supposed to eat things that came out of the ground or somewhere from something God provided on this planet. And even if it's a rabbit or a fish that you pulled out, all good. That's what you're supposed to be eating, not things people make in laboratories. Right here, I have my watermelon juice, sandia. And you know what this is? Hear it. You know what this is? It's living. It's a watermelon squeezed into a bottle. That's what it is. Nothing else. Please, family, get yourself right with nature. And the dark forces, they will hijack your mind, they will hijack your money, they will hijack your body, they will put you in a matrix, even though you're still moving around. You're in a matrix. You're in a bad money system. You're in a bad medical system. You're in a bad educational system. You're in a bad religious system that won't tell you the truth about the ancient mysteries so you can empower yourself. No. Light workers have stood. All of us got together and said, no more. All of us. That's why we speak these words in the morning. We're not just saying idle words. We're changing the planet. We're shifting energy. We're transmuting. We're making magic. That's what we're doing. Here we go. The first line. God is but love, and therefore so am I. 7 times everyone on Clubhouse is on stage. Let's roll. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And we breathe. These are our unified voices going forth. A great wave of love sweeping the planet now. The next line that we state is the idea from A Course in Miracles, lesson 161, which is, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. If you desire to go back to that lesson, it is recorded in 4 places for you. And in that lesson, we learned that the way you go to God is the one who gets on your nerves the most. When you can forgive that one, the one who was your abuser, your betrayer, your rapist, the one who killed someone that was close to you, the one who did the most dastardly deeds, when you can say to that one, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God, you know you're forgiven and you set yourself free. It has nothing to do with them. They're not right. They'll be dealt with by the universe. Trust that. You set yourself free. 7 times, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. Let's go. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. 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 Ashe, and we breathe. And we sandwich it with, as we said, as we have said and will say hundreds of times, God is but love, and therefore so am I. 7 times. Let's roll. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And we breathe, and we bask in the love. Feel the frequencies. Feel what we are creating together in this wave of love, wisdom, power going across the entire planet and throughout the universe. Our next line is a review of lesson 162. I am as God created me. 7 times together. Let's go. I am as God created me. 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 And we breathe. You are transmuting your body. You are getting rid of sickness. You are getting rid of the ideas of death. You're getting rid of lack and limitation. You're getting rid of can't do it. You're getting rid of guilt and shame. You're getting rid of unwillingness to be great. And our final statement for the day is God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let's roll 7 times. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And we breathe. Look at you, magnificent being. Look at you who have shifted the world with your voice. Look at you. You're magnificent. Everybody on stage, celebrate! Yes! Celebrate! Celebrate! Celebrate!
Yes, yes, yes,
Celebrate!
yes.
Celebrate!
Celebrate.
Celebrate! Woo! Celebrating love. Celebrating love. Celebrating love. All right. Look at that celebration. So we will conclude the live stream, family. Live stream. We will be back here 7 a.m. Same bad time, same bad channel every day for 365 days straight. We're going to continue the discussion in Clubhouse for a little bit. So if you want to hop over to Clubhouse, but if you're on YouTube and Facebook, the link is below. You can join the discussion. Please get your space for the fall equinox ritual and retreat coming up in Salem, New York, and Salem, Massachusetts. We're going to a seance. And I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on in Salem that weekend. Well, I do know what's going on with Salem that weekend. It is the fall equinox, and it is packed, and everything is selling out like this. The hotels are already sold out. We have space, and we have just a few rooms that we're holding for those who are registered. Don't ask me no questions. Go to ValerieLove.com. Don't ask no one no questions. It's how we do in spiritual community. You go to Valerie. Don't ask. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Don't look to anybody else. You go within. You go to ValerieLove.com. You look at fall equinox, or you hear what's being heard right now, and you say, "Does this resonate for me?" If it's a yes, you press the button and register. Take your head out of it. Y'all see, I don't answer 50 million questions. I don't do it. And I'm not going to do it. And I'm certainly not going to answer questions for grown folks. And we're not going to, and neither my assistant will answer you either. We have a wonderful virtual assistant, Kaneza. We have a wonderful team. Everyone on the team is trained that we don't answer questions that you can find the answer to for yourself. This is an empowered community. This is a community where you stand up and you take initiative. This is a community of leaders. There ain't no followers in here. There are no disciples in here. None. I'm not looking for disciples. I'm looking for people, souls who choose to stand up and be all they were created to be. You are an infinite divine being. So if it resonates for you, grab your space and be with us. We're going to a seance. There's just a few tickets for the seance, so you got to register and grab your space if you desire to be with us in our seance. If you desire to be with us on a road trip, we got a road trip too. So fun. I cannot wait for the fall equinox. Oh my God. Let me not say that because we're right now in the spring, in the summer solstice energy. What about you, co-host, co-leader of this retreat is Queen Vashti, an initiate in the Maya Temple of Love, Light, and Truth. Yes?
Oh my goodness. So much. And I just love it. I get so filled with excitement when it comes to Salem. The energy in Salem is absolutely amazing. And every opportunity that we have to go to Salem, I'm there. I mean, I've been asking about Salem for a while because we haven't been since before the global meditation, which is the big not but yet. I just love it so much, and it's an experience that that you can't find anywhere. The energy in Salem is just so beautiful. You can feel it. Just it's in the air. We've had wonderful experiences in Salem. We've had a seance in Salem before, which was absolutely wonderful, and it was so funny. No.
I,
uh, seance when someone was feeding the fairies, and the host of the seance, she was absolutely against fairies in the house, and it was absolutely so funny. We had such an amazing time. And if you were with us in New Orleans, you know we visited Hex and Omen. Well, there's a Hex and Omen also in Salem. So that's going to be an amazing thing. Then we're going to do something new. We're going to go to Salem, New York as well. So go to the web, just, you know, our love initiative, and you have to go within. It will lead you in the way that you need to go. So we don't answer questions because this is, you should be guided by spirit. Get out of the head and go into the heart, and you should be guided by spirit to take care of the things that are necessary and get registered to be with us in Salem. So you know the websites to go to, the Christian Witches website, as well as Valerie Love website, Global Events, and the information will be there for you, and you will be guided, and you'll be able to get yourself registered so you can be with us. And the road trip is new. We're going to have a road trip, and it's going to be so fun. And if you've ever been in the car with Coach, there's stations are for so much in the car. You're gonna want to be there in the van, you know, just to absorb that energy, just to get the information that she's gonna be sharing, because she's always dropping jewels, and it's just gonna be a wonderful, wonderful experience. I absolutely love the fall anyway. Because, you know, just because I've always loved the fall. You know, you get to dress all nice, it's cool, you know, a little bit. So the fall season is a wonderful season, and we're going to be there for this fall equinox, excuse me. We're going to be there for the fall equinox, and we're going to, well, it's just going to be a great in the car this time, in the car, in the room, in the community with us, and on the road with us. Yes, you're gonna be so happy. So to enjoy this summer. Just had enough. Sometimes that, but we're looking forward to this fall equinox that's coming up. Yes, Coach?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You know, here's one of the reasons why society is falling apart. I'm going to tell you a reason why society is falling apart right now. Are we ready, family? Here's one big reason society is falling apart. Because we are not doing our rituals throughout the whole population. We're not on our rituals. What do rituals do? They put us in touch with the sacred divine. They keep us in step with the cosmic order. They align our minds. They put us in contact with higher order beings. Our rituals are like guardrails for life. Your new moon ritual, your full moon ritual, your tarot readings, your morning rituals of meditation, evening rituals, the rituals that we have 4 times a year of I'm here in Playa del Carmen. And yesterday I went again to Chichen Itza. And yesterday I got the most amazing tapestry for my laboratorium. In the mystery school, we teach you about your laboratorium, which is your sacred space. Even if you travel full time, you can still have a sacred space on the go. Well, I got this beautiful tapestry, and I'll show it to you in another video, of the 2 warriors, a warrior, an eagle warrior on one side, an eagle warrior on the other side. And the serpents that I love from Chichen Itza, I love the ancient cities. And Chichen Itza, it has the serpent um, representing one on one side representing the fall equinox and the other one on the other side representing the spring equinox, because these were absolutely foundational to life in the ancient world. In Egypt, for the Egyptians, for the Teotihuacans and Teotihuacan, for the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Lakota, the Sioux, all of our aboriginal societies, all of our ancient societies knew at Gobekli Tepe in Turkey, no matter where you go around the world, they knew, and it says it in the Bible, that the planets are to mark your occasions and your rituals and your seasons and your nights and your day. It says it right in the Bible to conduct your rituals. You could not have Sirius, the Stargate Sirius opening in ancient Egypt without a big, huge celebration, because they knew that when they saw Sirius, here came the floods. The Nile River flooded. So they knew that Sirius, they knew where Sirius was. They were aligned with Sirius. They're aligned with the universe. They're aligned with the cosmic order. That is my act. And we don't have rites of passage for young people to know that now you're leaving the infantile stage and you're going to adulthood. So you got grown ass people walking around and all they are is big kids. They never had any rites of passage. They never had anything to tell them deeply and experientially. You're a man now, you're a woman now. And though many of these sacred rites are very grueling, they do something for us. Get into your rituals. So we get to have a ritual on the fall equinox. We get to have a ritual on the winter solstice in Sedona. And you get to participate in real live Christian witchcraft rituals. Good question. Alchemy Seal asked a good question in the chat. There are some questions that Google won't have the answer, though. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely right. Alchemy Seal. And here's the key: you want to ask yourself who or what is asking this question. That it's not where the answers come from, it's what's asking this question. And every time, family, I'm gonna break it free right now. Every time I've asked myself that question, mistrust was asking the question. Now, you may not like that. It's where it's coming from. Mistrust. And we don't feed mistrust in this community. In this community, we feed love. Family, you got to practice it. You can't just say it every morning. We get to be it, because that's where you get the true transformation in your life. And you may not like some of the things I'm saying. I'm well okay with not being liked. I'm a-okay with it because I'm loved by this universe. I will bring you truth even if it hurts your feelings, in the most loving, powerful way I can. Your questions are a problem for you on the spiritual path. They just are. Anyone want to speak to that? They just are. Drop all your questions.
Even last year when I had visited you in Mexico, I didn't really ask any questions because I've been in this community for a while now. I just knew that I was coming to help teach about KDP authorship. I didn't ask any questions at all. I didn't ask any questions about Chichen Itza, about any equinox. I didn't ask any questions. I just got on the plane. And when I tell you that was the most life transformative trip I probably have ever taken, next to our first trip to Dubai. My grandfather, who had abused me as a child, passed away when I got on the plane. And it was March 21st. I'll never forget it, because I'm like, okay, that was my 3-2-1 liftoff day. And going to Mexico and not even knowing that one of the things that I had dreamed about all of my life was there in the cenotes. And funny story, so yesterday when I called Rev, and she said, guess where I am? And I immediately thought,
in my mind, cenotes, I'm like, my favorite place. And Rev knows I'm not an ancient city type of girl. She's like, actually, you're not favorite place. And I'm like, Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is great. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Yeah. Get there. It is beautiful to see. So I didn't ask any questions, not one. And when I got there, it was beautiful life experience, transforming life experiences, one after another, after another, after another. And I really, truly believe if I had asked any questions or tried to get any information, I would not have had the time that I had. And it was meant for me to be there when my grandfather ascended so that I did not have to be around all of the family-ish with planning of the funeral. We're all going to pretend like he was such a great guy now that he's on the other side. Like, I didn't want to be a part of any of that. So God put me exactly where I wanted to be. And I was able to extend my time there so that I made sure that I was not in the midst of any of that energy. And that particular experience changed my life. The year before, my grandmother had passed, and after that, I had a problem with breathing, because I watched her take her last breath. And when I went to Mexico and my grandfather had ascended, it was like, and I have not had any problems with breathing again after coming back from Mexico. So you don't know what's going to break off of you during these spiritual unfoldments, during these soul excursions, during these retreats, during these rituals. You don't know what's going to break off of you. You just have to trust that if you have it, if when you look at something, if it's an immediate yes, follow that yes, and that's it. Don't ask yourself how you're going to pay for it, who's going to watch the kids. Now I've asked myself, well, damn, who's going to watch the dogs? Like, don't ask questions like that, and just know that everything will work out divinely, exactly as they're supposed to be. But when you know it's a yes, as long as you follow that yes, your life is going to change for the best. And I can tell you example after example after example of how that's happened for me when I go anywhere in this community. And I'm complete.
You are so on point, Harmony. We had such an amazing time because that was the experience visiting Coach in Mexico. That was the experience where I actually bought a one-way ticket. And there were no questions. I didn't ask any questions. And we actually were having a shared healing. We didn't know that we were going to have a shared healing, you and I. We did not know any of these things prior to getting on the plane. We just said yes. And once we got there, so many things unfolded, and I'm not a swimmer. My father drowned, who was an amazing swimmer. That was just the way he chose to go. And, I go into the story about the underwater kingdom and my thoughts on that as far as my father is concerned. But that did something to me where I did not want to swim. I just would go in waist high, and that's it. Well, in Mexico, with Harmony and these cenotes that she was so excited about, I was in a body of water, a cenote that was 150 feet deep.
Yes, she was swimming.
And
yes, she was.
I felt that fear just drifting away from me. There were things that happened on that trip that could not have happened anywhere else. And then once that happened, I was ready for the cenotes too. We went to a few cenotes and they were all different. It was just so amazing. We went to the ancient cities, Chichen Itza, and Coach would look at me and say, "You're having the time of your life." And I really was, because I grew up looking at Indiana Jones and all these things, that ancient cities and all these, places on, public television, PBS or whatever, just very educational. My father would always have us watching educational things. And it was like a dream come true. I never thought the first pyramid that I thought I was going to see Egypt.
That's right. A lot of people think that.
But the divine had a different plan for me because I was able to see 2 pyramids in the ancient cities.
2 pyramids.
Because we went to Uxmal as well as Chichen Itza. And I'm telling you, I had my hat on and my scarf around my neck, and I just looked like I was right out of Indiana Jones movie. I didn't plan any of it. It just happened. I'll change my photo too so you can see that. It was just a wonderful experience, and I can go on forever and ever about it because these are life-changing moments that you'll never forget. So please, please, please follow your heart. I'm complete.
So we are much different than, I know there's men, sisters, brothers, and others in our community. We are much different than like other travel experiences that you may see online where it's just basically a girl's trip, let's go sightseeing. And it just makes me laugh because some of Connie's family members went on this group girls trip last weekend and had a horrible time. I'm like, because there was no spirituality involved. Therefore, all it was cattiness, fights. I'm mad at this person. I'm mad at that person. You'll never have that type of experience on any of our soul excursions because our intention is for spiritual unfoldment. Our intention is for growth. Our intention is for enlightenment, and we do it in areas that are beautiful, that just goes hand in hand. So our experiences are not going to be the type where where 13 people go on a trip and 13 people come back mad. I just laughed at that. I mean, it wasn't funny, but it was funny because I'm like, oh, that would have never happened on a soul excursion where every single day it was just drama. So you can definitely go on one of those girls' trips and do that and have fun and all that, but you're not going to get the type of change that you want in your life, the type of change that you don't even know you need until you have it. Every time I come back, I'm like, damn, I didn't even know I was holding on to stuff like that. Half the time, we don't even know what we need, but God knows. Mm-hmm. So if you feel that, yes, it's God already giving you the green light. And when you see, like, you can look at anything and go within, and if it's a green, and know if it's a green light or a red light.
Oh, we know if it's a green light.
And when you see that green light, just go.
Just run with the green light.
No questions asked.
Don't ask no questions. Just run with the green light. Family, y'all are preaching right now. Choir. I'm in the choir. I'm over here. Amen, amen, and amen. And on YouTube, everybody got to see a peek at this new tapestry that's going up in my sacred space. Of course, I'm going to do a video when I get it up in the sacred space. I got this tapestry yesterday at Chichen Itza. And if you notice the colors in this tapestry is 100% cotton. And I'm sure you could use it for a blanket because it's very lovely. It is super hot in Mexico, so we don't do blankets down here. The comforters are only for show. You probably won't never need them. What I love about this tapestry, it is 100% cotton, and this is handmade, handcrafted. And the colors that you see in the tapestry, they're not dyed. These colors are the actual different colored cotton that they used to make this tapestry. Can you imagine? I don't know why the ancient Mayan, Toltec, Aztec, Teotihuacan, and the Olmecs speaks to my soul so deeply that I live in the Yucatan. Spirit put me right in the middle of the Mayan jungle. How did that happen? Listening to Spirit, not asking no questions. Spirit say, Bali, I pack my bag and sit by the door because my airplane tickets is about to come. My hotel room is about to be laid out for me, or a lovely villa or suite. I pack my bags and sit by the door when we roll in Spirit. That's how we go wherever we go, all the places we go. See, if you want to go, we're only talking to you if you want to go. If you want to stay at home, all good. If you want to go, and you really want to manifest global travel, this is how you do it. You say yes, and you start packing your bags. And the people in your family will say, "What are you doing?" "I'm going to Bali." With Bali? Yes, I'm going to Bali. And you make your yes public, and you have people hold you accountable in spiritual community to that yes. And then you take the steps to actualize and realize your yes is not going to just fall out of heaven. You must take steps. And when you take the steps, the steps will be scary steps. I just want to warn you. That's the bottom line. Soul Whisperer. Soul Whisperer knows what we're talking about because she went to Ecuador. And I know you cannot go to Ecuador and live in Ecuador. Is it Ecuador, I believe? Yes, Soul Whisperer. You cannot live in Ecuador without busting out of your comfort zone, doing a lot of big, scary things, doing things that are. This is the path, family. This is the path. You got to bust a move. You got to do something scary. If the credit card is shaking in your hand as you're registering for an event, good. Because then you know you got some transformation coming. And a girlfriend's trip with 13 women, you couldn't get me on that trip if you paid me. It's all exclusive. It's all expenses paid. No, thank you. Just 13 women? Thanks, but no thanks. With no spirituality involved. Thanks, but no thanks. You already know what that's going to look like. Okay, who's next?
Nobody's friends anymore. Let's just say that.
That's a fast way to lose 13 friends. And why? There's a better way. There's a better way. We don't have all that. We don't have all of that. So by all means, hop in. And this is what I want to say to you. If you have an experience on a soul excursion that is an undesirable experience, which you could well have. We're not saying you won't have undesirable experiences. That's not what we're saying. You will know that this is a transformative experience that spirit is putting in front of you. If you were crying at the airport, you will know, okay, all things are lessons God would have me learn, because before all soul excursions, we have our statement of truth. And didn't we say before we were going to Dubai, Spirit said, I was like, I got a message, guys. We gotta have a Zoom about it. I got the message. The message said, resistance is gonna show itself before. I love that the angels tell you things before it's gonna happen if you tuned in. They said resistance for all of y'all. I was like, oh damn. Resistance is coming for all of us. And didn't resistance come for all of us either there or back home? Everybody. Did any of us get exempt from seeing our own resistance?
Not one person sideswiped or sidelined, or everybody went through resistance. Not one person avoided the resistance. Even though you said it was coming, like it was just a nice warning. It like though that was one of those warnings. Like it's not like, hey, there's a tornado coming, and then you could go like brace for shelter. Like resistance was coming, and once we saw it, we're like, oh, that's what Rev was talking about. From getting on the plane to some people getting home from the plane, like there was just so much resistance involved.
Yeah.
However, everyone broke through the resistance.
We did.
It came, we saw it, we recognized it, we honored it, and everybody overcame it.
I gotta say, that was freaking badass, because every single person met their resistance and overcame it. But I tell you, it wasn't without having a few panic moments and I had a couple of panic moments. I'm telling you, when I went to the airport and they said, oh no, you can't go nowhere for 10 days. I was like, Harmony, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to be on this retreat. I was just accepting of whatever was coming up. And I was watching and I was just being very still.
I'm not that spiritual. I was not about to accept.
I was like, you're going to be there. Dr. G was going to be there. Oh my God. You know what it was also showing me? It was also showing me that people don't need you. Casey, people don't need you. We can't get ourselves too important. People don't need me. People don't need anyone. You need yourself and God. And if you're going on a retreat, this was just positioning me for showing me that our travel company would have trips going all over. And we wouldn't be on every single experience. We wouldn't be on every soul excursion. And it was injecting that into my consciousness and helping me to see where we're going and to be peaceful with it. And that you don't have to be there to micromanage anything. You don't even have to be there at all. God got this. So now we know we'll be doing soul excursions and we'll help everyone attending understand you're doing this for you. If you were coming on a soul excursion to see me, then that would be an inappropriate intention for your soul. You're going on a soul excursion to have deep radical transformation in 7 days, 10 days, and come back a whole new person. Drop guilt, drop shame, drop lack limitation, get a new way of doing things, make more money, manifest more money, create more magic, get your relationships right, heal your body, heal your mind. Everything in your life is going to change in 7 to 10 days, sometimes 3 days. When we have a solar script, sometimes one day, 222 quantum manifestation, one day. So don't go on a soul excursion for anyone else, right? Soul Whisperer, it would take me a few seconds to find that place, right? Soul Whisperer, I'm telling you, I had a couple of panic, well, no, literal panic, literal like, and I was like, okay, okay, I'm panicking. Okay, let me see. I have those moments and I know what to do with them. That's all. That's the only difference between a master and one who's not yet a master. And I am still working on my mastery, is speed of correction. Speed of correction. As soon as you see yourself, panic. What? You get some news. And then, okay, all things are lessons God would have me learn. Give me your hand, Holy Son of God. I am sustained by the love of God. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. I don't know what anything is for. Then you breathe. You say about 7 ACIM lessons. You see why I got to memorize. You say about 7 or 10 or 29. Or you just go through all 365, start at 1. Just say all 365. And somewhere around 222, you might feel like, okay, I'm back home. Come back home. And from home, you'll see the answer. We saw the answer. Kristen and PJ were at the airport, turned away, could not board after having registered with something like 7,500 or 8,500 for a couple. I think it was 8,500. Registered, paid for, turned away at the airport, could not board, standing outside the airport. Do you trust spirit in that moment? See, that's why we love travel, because it'll show you some things. It'll show you some things. And just as that moment, Harmony pulled up at that exact same spot at the airport. John Norman's Airport, Chicago. How do you pull up to the exact spot? I got the God bumps. How does somebody pull up to the exact spot where someone else is having an experience? They didn't even know they were flying out of the same airport. Boom. Oh, they got on that plane. Because that's what spirit ordained. Because your yes is a yes. From a higher order than any airline, any government, any papers, your yes. Do we not study the course that says that I am subject to no laws but God's? We could tell you miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. See, what happens is, family, you've got to walk it out and prove it to yourself. Because when you go on these soul excursions, oh my God, you prove it to yourself, your own badassery, your own spiritual badassery.
Can I say something right there?
Come on.
Like, y'all gotta
come on and preach.
Y'all gotta understand, at the time, Kristen and PJ were living in Mexico. I live in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we met up in that divine moment, sorry if you guys hear my puppy, in that divine moment outside of Chicago O'Hare when they were turned away. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's Kristen and PJ. They're like, Harmony. Like,
nothing
just the fact that They live in Mexico, I live in Cleveland, and we meet up in the exact same spot at the exact same moment at an international airport. Not like small little Cleveland Hopkins Airport where, yeah, okay, I probably would see you. But we're talking about
Chicago,
a major
O'Hare
hub, an international hub. So when you
at
can't
the same
tell
door.
me that the universe does not make sure everyone is taken care of when they make that declaration and say yes. And they do everything in according to that yes. So yeah, that was a divine experience. And that was one experience where, you know, those moments they say, oh, you can't tell me there's no God. You can't tell me. God doesn't work for you with your yes, just by me experiencing that right there.
And do we really think there's any disappointment in God? Do we think that there's shattered dreams in God? That's a cruel God. There are no shattered dreams in the goddess. You walk in the God-goddess path, there are no shattered dreams. That's what the lower egoic mind is about. It's about shattered dreams and disappointments and cruelty. What cruelty would bring you to the airport? You're packed to go to Dubai, everything paid for, and let you not go. Do you really think that it says it in the course, there is no cruelty in God and there is none in me. There's no cruelty in God. God doesn't operate that way, and you just want to be around a bunch of people that knows how this universe operates, because when one of us is a little wonky, the rest of them are like, we know how this universe operates. This universe operates according to love. And God's will for me is perfect happiness. And I'm going to get to my perfect happiness, and everyone around me will be in their perfect happiness. And perfect happiness doesn't mean you don't have challenges. And perfect happiness doesn't mean you don't do big, scary things. And perfect happiness doesn't mean you just sit there and do nothing and just be blissed out all day. No. It means you get up and you do epic things. You're an epic being, suited for epic living. I won't be ordinary to save my life.
That's boring. That's boring. Who doesn't want to? Who wouldn't want to spend the night in the airport because you were at the wrong airport? And the flights don't leave till 11 p.m., so you got to wait 24 hours. I could have left that airport.
You could have.
My sweetie boo at the time was like, do you want me to come back and get you? And I was like, no, I'm not leaving this airport. I don't care what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not leaving this airport. That was the Bali trip.
That was Bali.
I'm not leaving this airport. I spent 24 hours and many tears, and spiritual community supported me because that time we were having the Enlightenment Circle. So I'm in the airport all night, you know, get myself together. In the morning, I think we used to get on at 6 a.m.
Yes, we did.
Enlightenment Circle was at 6 a.m. I share my experience, and the community supported me 100%, and I got to Bali safely and met Coach in China. I think and I met Coach in China.
Were we in China or Taiwan? Airport. Hong Kong? Were we at Hong Kong?
No, I think we were in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, okay. We were somewhere in the world. It was lovely. And we didn't even know we were going to meet at the airport, and we turned around and like, here we are.
No, did not know. Met Coach in Hong Kong, and, you know, we hugged and all that great stuff. And then, you know, her flight was different from mine. So then we met up again once we got to Bali. But as soon as Bali came out, I said, I'm going to Bali because I had just met Star in Vegas, and we were sitting at the table, and I told her, I'm going to be there for your graduation. Yep. As soon as I heard it. And I think it was almost a year later, and I was like, I'm going to be there for her. I had some experiences. But at any time I could say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm going back home. I don't live near DC airport. I think it was BWI, one of them. I get confused.
Were you out
I
at
lived
Dulles
3
in
hours.
Virginia? Is that where you were?
Yeah,
Dulles?
I was. Wherever the international airport is, I know it's like 3 right there. It wasn't Reagan. It was either one of the two, either BWI or Dulles. But one of them I went to, and I was at the wrong airport, and I had to go to the other one. So he had to come back and get me to take me to the correct airport after we drove 3.5 hours because I live near Virginia Beach. So I had to drive 3.5 hours to get to the airport, to DC or BWI. Then he dropped me off. I'm at the wrong flight. So he had to turn around and come back, take me to the proper airport. And when I get to the proper airport, all the gates are closed. And there's no one there. And he said, "You want me to come back?" And I said, "No, I'm not leaving this airport." And the rest is, what happened. I cried. I was on the phone with 50 million customer service people to get a new flight. And I couldn't do anything until the very next day because I had to wait all night until the places opened at 9 a.m. or whatever time. So it was an experience. And I knew it was where I needed to be, or where I was supposed to be, not needed, where I was supposed to be, because my soul said yes immediately for Bali. I knew I'd be there. So that was one of my extreme healing moments.
I have a question for you. Why didn't you leave the airport? Because I know what you mean. Like, I'm not leaving this airport. What caused you to say that?
I just knew that I was supposed to be in Bali. That I'm not gonna do this. When your soul says yes to something immediately like that, you don't even have a chance to. They don't even finish getting the words out their mouth. You didn't finish saying it before I was saying yes. So I know there was a purpose for me there, and if this was going to be a transformational experience. Well, we always say, as soon as you say yes is when the transformation starts.
As soon as you say yes, that's right.
Yes, the trip may not be for a few months yet, but as soon as you say yes, that's when it begins. The resistance and the everything that's going to happen and how you're going to apply those tools and push through. Yeah. I just knew I was supposed to go. Yeah. And
it here.
There was no leaving the airport. I don't think my feet would even move to leave the airport. Even if he did come back to get me. So there was just a knowing within my heart that everything was going to be okay. Of course, my human self didn't know how, so that's where the tears came from, and they didn't come right away, because I'm not weak. I've had some experiences in my life, so I don't cry that easy when it comes to a crisis. I'm usually the strong one in a crisis, so. It was just welling up inside of me. And then I made it through the night with no tears. That morning is when it's just welling up.
Damn, bro.
My human self is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then spiritual and helping me to, because we had the Enlightenment Circle, and so I was on that morning, and I was sharing my experience, and that's how the community supported me. So sometimes when you're having experiences, if you're in where you're supposed to be, Spirit is going to guide you in the right direction so that you can be where you're supposed to be. You have to be in divine alignment. That's the thing. Being in alignment, and like Coach was speaking earlier, observing the cosmic weather and doing your rituals. And if you're supposed to, if you know that you made a commitment to be on the Enlightenment Circle or Clubhouse, or we get on at 7 a.m., like, do those things. I'm not here during the week, but my commitment is on the weekend, and I know this is where I'm supposed to be. So I put myself in the seat. If I'm supposed to be on a Zoom or whatever it is, if you commit to it, follow through, because the spirit and all that needs to unfold, if this is indeed where you're supposed to be. So I'm not going to ramble, but yes, that was an experience. And it turned out beautifully.
Oh, it turned out
I got
perfect.
to see all these amazing temples in Bali, and we went to the Lotus Pond area, and just so many things, so much good vegan food. The food was off the charts. I think that's one of the main experiences, one of the best things that we have when we're traveling is the food that we get to experience. All vegan, all natural, Kismet.
One of my favorite places in Bali. If you're in Bali, I'm putting it in the chat right now. Kismet is one of my favorite places in Bali.
Yes.
Forever and ever, amen.
Forever and ever, amen. Because we had a table full of food. We had so much food on that table.
It's from the angels.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm complete for now.
You speak of this is a mastery level manifestation secret. Here is a manifestation secret, family. And when I say it, you're going to know that you've done it. Never turn back. So you're in the middle of something. It looks like it's not going. It looks like, oh, this couldn't be the will of God. I see a lot of light workers steal their blessing, steal their major win, their major manifestation, because they get to the point where it's, oh no, this isn't it. And because it's supposed to be easy and effortless. Easy and effortless is a joke. I'm going to say it to you bluntly. Fuck easy and effortlessly. Now, we put it in all our things. We like to say it. But some of this shit ain't going to be easy, okay? I'm just going to be clear and real honest with you. Because I think you appreciate honesty. I do. Give it to me straight, family. Give it to me straight. It's not always going to be easy and effortless. Now, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like riding down the river. Oh, lovely. And sometimes you hit a spot that's like, right then, when you hit that spot of, I see people, they bounce off. They hit the resistance point, and then they, oh no, this isn't it, because it's supposed to be easy and effortless. They bounce off and they retreat. Never go back. Say, okay, there's a wall of resistance here. I'm in the, everybody knows what that is, right? When you're in your creation, you're in your thing. Like I'm in that now with spiritual badassery, like that. This is why spiritual badassery as a hardcover and the paperback is not published yet, because I'm in the, because we got to get the margins and I've never created a book like this before, and the coloring pages and the lines, and it's an inch over here, and I'm in the, you just, PBG, pause, breathe, go within. See, the book's not published yet, and this is a big book, and it's a lot, and it ain't easy, because you got to look at each page and each email from Amazon and each illustration and I love doing that stuff. I love it. Now, when I have a publisher, I don't do any of that stuff because the publisher does it. This is my baby. This is the first time I'm birthing a creation like this with coloring pages. I love coloring. It's an amazing meditation. Is like one of the most amazing meditations ever is coloring. And it just unleashes your creativity. This is the first time I'm actually creating a book with coloring pages. I've never done this before. I'm in new territory. I always put myself in new, uncharted, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing territory. It's really good for us to do that because the ego just thinks it knows so much, and you need to give it a good bashing every so often. You need to let the ego sit down and be in your spot because I'm doing, like we say, the ego's not evil, it's just ignorant. It needs to sit down and be in its spot while you do the epic work you're on the planet to do. So this book, I'm telling you, it's taken me through some paces. Don't retreat, don't withdraw, don't in any way take your energy off foot on the pedal. See, that's why she couldn't leave the airport. I'm going to keep my foot on the pedal because I know my crazy ass mind. If I don't do it now, if I go back to the comfort of my home, I may not put everything together and get back to the airport and do that. Plus, I'm not in preparation. I'm not in place for my miracle because at any minute they could put me on a plane. I'm not going back home.
Right.
Did you feel that or a sense of that? What was happening?
I did feel that.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, I've been in relationships that weren't as easy. And with George, I mean, he was just so easy and loving, and it would have been okay. And he would have hugged me, and he would have did all this wonderful stuff to make me feel so comfortable.
Right.
And it's all right. And he would have been so loving.
You tried.
He would have came back and picked me up with love in his heart, you know. Not mad with me because I went to the wrong airport. Not mad with me because now I want to be picked up to go back home. Not mad with me because we drove 3.5 hours to even get to the airport.
That's right.
Like, it would have been so easy for me to leave the airport. But no, I'm not. I'm going. There was like this determination within me that I'm going. And I love the fact that you saying, you know, this shit is hard. When I first came into, you know, my knowing and that I'm on this journey, because you're always on the journey, but you don't know, you know, when you're in, you know, the matrix, at some point you find out you're on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first realized my journey, that I'm on this journey, and, you know, I'm meeting all these light workers, and, you know, because you know, you go through a transformation, you don't just end up, you may be lucky enough to end up at your home place right away. That wasn't the case for me. I went through some transformations before I ended up here in this community. I was, you know, with others, and it was so love and light and Skittles and rainbows, and it's just so lovely. No one ever told me that this shit was hard.
No, it's gonna get hard.
They didn't say that. They made it like this is a lovely thing, and you've come to this awareness, and that it is lovely.
Yes, it is.
But although there are, you're going to have experiences.
That's right.
It would have been so easy for me to go back home. You know, I wasn't going to be in the car and be berated, you know, because I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been easy, lovely. He would have got me home. And, you know, I would have took my shower. He would have tucked me in because he's just the loving being that he is. And he would have did all those wonderful things for me and made me feel great. But there was definitely a knowing within me that I need to be in Bali. And I'm going to get to Bali. I don't know what it's going to take. And I think I actually said those words. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. And then as soon as I stepped off the plane in Bali, I was thinking about when I'm going back. Immediately, I hadn't even experienced anything yet other than the atmosphere and everything that Bali is. Because as soon as I stepped off the plane, I was in love. And it was so very different from JFK because when I went to my first trip out of the country, I flew out of JFK. But JFK was oh, it was just too much for me. The energy there, the people was speaking so many different languages, it was crazy. But when I got to Bali, there was so many people speaking different languages, but I felt at home. It was totally different energy. And that's how you know you're where you're supposed to be. Because it was so, Bali is so welcoming.
Oh, yeah.
It's like meeting your grandmother, getting to your grandmother's house and how she gives you this big warm hug and says, oh, you want something to eat?
Want some cookies?
That's what Bali makes me feel like. You know, just an amazing transformation, amazing experience. And that was my second trip out of the country. So that was very transformative. So I hadn't gotten, you know, real good at this thing yet. I think I'm pretty good now. That doesn't mean that resistance won't show up, but I think I'm pretty good now. And I think, you know, like we say about mastery, the mastery comes in with how quickly you recognize where you're standing and begin to apply the tools to move through the resistance. So, yeah.
You know, it's funny, when you were having that experience, Queen Vashti, it reminded me of my experience going to India. I actually flew out to India the third time I went to the airport. Okay, the first time I went to the wrong airport. Same thing. I went to DCA and was supposed to be at Dulles. By the time I get to Dulles, plane gone. Second time I went, okay, go back the next day. They put me on the next plane, go back the next day to see Dr. Pillai. This is when your resistance will come up and it will meet you. It doesn't matter what level you are on. You continue to raise your consciousness, resistance will meet you where you are. It's always your perfect match. That's why they say new level, new devil. That's another way of saying resistance has your phone number and it will ring your phone. No matter what you have done to elevate your consciousness until maybe one day you just completely elevate beyond all resistance, which would be lovely. I did not have my visa, and you had to have the visa in advance. So that was the second time why I got turned away at the airport. You don't have your papers. Why? That was not because I was not told. It's because I wasn't obedient. I wasn't listening. Dr. Pillai's people told us, go now, as soon as you register, go get your visa. They told us again in email, go get your visa. They said it on the website, go get your visa. Here go me, procrastinate. Yeah, I'll get the visa. I go online and say, go right here online now and get your visa. I go online, you know, and I'm here go my crazy American self. Americans are used to every country we walk in, they just give you VOA, visa on arrival. And you just walk in the joint. You ain't doing that in China and India, okay? You're not just walking in the joint. You're applying to get it up in here. I go and I try to fill out that form online. That thing has so many questions. It was such a process. I couldn't believe it. So I was doing it. And I was like, oh, I'll get back to it. You know, something more important. Oh, I'll get around to it. My procrastinating self, let me take 100% responsibility for my crazy A consciousness. That was all on me. That wasn't spirit. Spirit was telling me all on. So me not having my booty on that plane was all on me because Kabbalah, they have a saying. Even God himself is helpless against stupid people. I was being a stupid person. Even God can't do nothing for you if you insist on being stupid. Okay, didn't get my visa. And I'm using a word that my mother didn't even let us use growing up. She didn't even let us use the word stupid. Anyway, because she thought there were no stupid people. She was an amazing teacher. Anyway, I can't figure this thing out online. I can't make heads or tails of this thing. This thing is asking. And then when it came to the section about what kind of visa do you want, It had 10 different kinds of visa. Is it a media so-and-so visa? Is it a pastoral so-and-so visa, religious? Is it a health and are you going to do something with the soil? Are you going to do something with the animals? I was like, oh my God. Is it a conference visa? Is it a this visa? Is it a retreat? Like the retreat visa and the conference visa, these were two different visas. They had about 10 different kinds of visas. I didn't know what I was doing. Then, all these charlatan companies will help you for only $300. I was like, that's a scam. Let me go directly to the Indian consulate. That's what I did. I went to the Indian embassy right there in Washington, D.C. Fill out the papers. Okay, fill out the papers. As soon as I walked in, I saw a big Ganesha. I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. I saw a big Ganesha. As soon as I walked in the Indian embassy, there was the giant Ganesha to tell me, it's okay, we got you, even though you were stupid. You didn't want to do what we told you to do, but come on in. Ganesha didn't say that to me, but they could have. Okay, I go in. Because now, after I went to the airport twice, pardon me, and didn't get on the plane, oh, now I'm ready to be obedient. But you got to feel some pain. Is that what it is, Casey? You just have to feel some pain before you get yourself in order and alignment and do the steps that were put in front of you. Oh, okay. Now I'm ready to do the steps. Now I'm here eating a humble pie because you didn't miss 2 planes and you didn't pay fees for missing them 2 planes. Are you ready yet? Because we can do this all day. You can miss 10 planes. How many planes you gonna miss before you get yourself in alignment, Valerie? Clearly, I'm out of alignment. Clearly, I'm out of alignment. That's the whole reason why I needed to go see Dr. Pilar in the first place. Isn't that funny that on the way to the retreat, you see why you need the retreat?
Yes, so funny. It wasn't funny then, but it's funny now.
Oh, it was so not funny when it was happening. I was crying, I was mad, I was talking, I was bargaining, I was pleading, I was begging. When you try to bend the universe to do things your way. Let me in without a visa. Girl, you tripping. The times we try to get to bend the universe to do it the way we want it to be. Good luck. Okay. Finally, I get myself together. I go to the Indian embassy. I have my flight. My flight leaves on Saturday. This is something like Wednesday. They say it takes 5 to 7 days. I was like, no. My flight, I need it fast, expedite. Okay. Indian people are just so kind and wonderful. Okay. They were just so kind to me. They said, okay. We'll do the best we can. No promises. I went back Wednesday night. I was praying. I was having all the prayer warriors praying. My flight leaves on Saturday night, and embassy is not open on Saturday. It closes on Friday afternoon. If I don't have this thing in 48 hours, I'm doomed. And you know what I did? I went home and I spoke to the ancestors. Mom being the number one ancestor. I said, Mom, I got nothing. I tried everything I knew. I threw money at the problem. That didn't make it go away. I keep telling y'all, money won't make you have no less problems. You'll just be wearing a Fendi purse and you still have to deal with your issues because the universe don't care how much money you have. It cares about your transformation and your character. That's the only thing God cares about. God does not care about how much money you have. Heaven doesn't have no money tally in heaven. I checked. Do you know how much money Elon Musk has? No. Heaven said, no, we don't know how much money he has. It's not our concern. We don't look at bank accounts. Do your transformation work, and I mean your deep transformation work. I kept looking at the embassy, kept looking at my email. We'll email you as soon as. I was like, I'm going there Friday no matter what. Sure enough, after I get myself in alignment, and I talked to the ancestors. My mom said, do this. Because I told the ancestors I got nothing. And I work with higher order beings all the time. I work with angels, all of that. You can work with angels and ancestors all you want. If you're still down here on the earth plane being a dummy, That's what I was doing. That's not going to help you. They can't overcome your dumb A-ness. They can't overcome it. You have to overcome your dumb A-ness. They're here to help you. But if I insist on being resistant, out of alignment, what are the ancestors going to do to me other than let me get smacked up by the universe a few more times? She'll come around, smack her up a little bit more, she'll come around. The universe doesn't work the way you want it to work. It does not. And it doesn't work the way I want it to work either. It works the way it works. Align with it. Align yourself. Then you'll find that flow and that grace. Sure enough, I took myself and I got myself in alignment on the earth plane and in upper realms. I got myself in alignment on the earth plane by doing the paperwork required in excellence. I checked every box. They said, fill this out, fill this out, fill this out. Give us your passport. Give it to you. Yes, we have to put the visa. Give you my passport. Yes. Y'all are going to keep it here. Yes. Oh, Lord Jesus. Then that was a whole nother child. When they be asking for your passport and they're going to keep it, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Because everything that you watch on TV says, don't give nobody your passport. But you got to give them the passport to get the visa.
Let me tell you something. Then the fear kicked in. No, you can't have my passport. Can I stay here with the passport? You can't stay here. The office is going to close and open again tomorrow. Your passport is going to be here with all the other passports. Didn't you just see all the people in line? I know these people probably thought I was crazy. I was having all kinds of experiences. And so, okay, I had to get over you going to keep it? Yes, we have to put the visa inside the passport. Okay, Valerie, you're doing too much. Take yourself home and sit down and do a meditation because you're doing too much right now. Can't you tell when you're doing too much? I can. I'm doing too much right now. Let me go home and sit down and do a meditation. Okay? Or take some shrooms or something. Chill the hell out. I gave them my passport. Friday morning, I was at that embassy when they opened the door open. I was walking up in there. Yes, is it ready? Bam. Here's your passport with your 10-year visa. I didn't even know what I was asked for. Check this box, check this box. I just flowed through that application. Check this box, check this box. I was just in divine order, divine alignment. Say this, sign here, put your address here, put this here. Maybe they saw Dr. Pillai's name and was like, oh yeah, he's legit. They gave me a 10-year visa. I can come and go to India anytime I like. Bam! Look at God. Why are you asking questions, baby? You don't even know what to ask. Oh, please. You don't know God. If you asking questions, you don't know the God I walk with. You don't know that God. And I would offer you better get to know that God ASAP that has had me in Africa, that has had me in China, Hong Kong, India, Peru several times, Dubai several times, Abu Dhabi, all throughout the United States, on every island, 5 islands of Hawaii, throughout the Caribbean, Jamaica, Mexico. What? Oh, that God will take you in perfect order. You will be in perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Now, is that my will for me? That's God's will for me, but is that my will for me to be in perfect happiness, or do I just want to be in suffering? Make a choice. Amazing.
That's deep. God's will for me is perfect happiness, yet God gives us all free will. So is my will for me perfect happiness?
That is a question. That is a question. When we were in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, Dr. Jiwa used a very specific word to describe what we were in. She said, "You are in an initiation." And wasn't that the truth?
Yes, indeed. We were.
We are going to conclude our live stream on YouTube. YouTubers! We so love and appreciate you every single day. Get your spot. ValerieLove.com. Get it now. Don't delay. Get
We're on
your
the
spot.
7-day countdown at this point also.
Oh, yeah. Talk about it.
We are on the 7-day countdown. So you probably are familiar with the fact that we launched our Soul Excursions VIP NFT. And if you purchase the Soul Excursions VIP NFT before June 30th, when we release the Soul Excursions Globetrotter NFT in January, you're going to get a free airdrop of the $5,500 NFT. And with that Globetrotter NFT, you will be able to come on any Soul Excursions with us. So that particular NFT unlocks the key to all of our Soul Excursions. The VIP NFT, that particular key, unlocks you 7 benefits. You have those 7 benefits until June 30th, then it'll be 6. But right now, the 7 benefits include the huge NFT drop. So you'll be able to go to Dubai in 2023. We're also planning a trip to Maldives, Italy, Zanzibar, Tanzania. Wherever we go on a Soul Excursion, your Globetrotter NFT will get you on those trips. So you can get that $5,500 NFT when it airdrops right now while cryptocurrency is on sale. So when we released the Soul Excursions VIP NFT, we released it at 0.313 Ethereum. It's still 0.313 Ethereum. However, right now you can get that on sale in USD. So you have until June 30th. I don't know how else to say that. It's actually more beneficial if you don't get it, because then you're just gonna have to buy the big one. So why would you buy the big one when you can get an airdrop of the Globetrotter NFT now for the price of the VIP? So you have until June 30th to do that. And that is next Friday. So right now we're in that 7-day countdown.
You know, it's very fascinating that we as humans, we love doing things the hard way, no matter how much we're encouraged to not do it the hard way, because it seems like we learn our lessons the hard way. Don't do it. Don't learn the hard way. Learn the beautiful way. Be on the path of joy, not the path of pain. Yeah, bust a move. If you got something going on in your life, financial issues, health issues, whatever the issues may be, this is how you break out of it. That's how you break out of it. ValerieLove.com. Love you, love tubers, and Facebook. We're going to go over to Clubhouse now. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.